A very good morning to everyone. Students, now we will study about the chapter 9 of your honeysuckle book, Desert Animals. As the name suggests, this lesson throws light about the life of desert animals, how they the different desert animals survive themselves in the about according to the surroundings in the desert, how they have to face difficulties about depends on the temperature, depends on the atmosphere in the desert, how they survive themselves, how they adapt the conditions which are happening in the deserts. So let's start the chapter. Deserts are the driest places on earth and sometimes go for months or even years without rain. But even the desert animals cannot survive without water or for long periods in the scorching sun. So they have to find different ways of coping with the harsh conditions. For example, Gerbils spend the hottest part of the day in cool underground burrows, and strange insects called darkling beetles are experts at catching drops of moisture on their legs, then lifting them into the air until the drops trickle down into their mouths. Not all deserts are endless seas of rolling sand dunes. Some are rocky or pebbly and dotted with small bushes, while others are sprinkled with colorful flowers during the spring. So, what are deserts? Deserts are the driest places on earth, but sometimes go for months, and it is the driest place on earth, but sometimes it happened there that the go for months, for several months, even years, not only months, even years without rain. There is no rain in the desert area, but even the desert animals cannot survive without water or for long periods in the scorching sun. Scorching means very hot. So they have had to find different ways of coping with the harsh conditions. So they find the different ways that how to survive these animals in the scorching sun or in the toughest conditions of desert. For example, gerbils. Gerbils means mouse-like desert rodents with long hind legs. They spend the hottest part of the day in cool underground burrows. Okay, and some insects called darkling beetle, they are experts at catching drops of moisture on their legs. अपने legs से moisture को लेते हैं and then lift them into the air जब तक कि drops, until the drops trickle down into their mouth, जब तक कि जो drop है वो उनके मुंह तक नहीं पहुंच जाती. Not all desert animals are endless seas of rolling sand dunes. Sand dunes heaps of sand formed by the wind. Not all the desert are endless seas of rolling sand dunes. Some are rocky also, pebbly also, and dotted with small bushes, while other deserts are sprinkled with colorful flowers during the spring. Not all the deserts are same. Second is there are more than 2,300 different kinds of snakes around the world. Now there is information about the snakes ranging from just 15 centimeters long to more than 11 meters. Most snakes are quite harmless, but there are a few that are so poisonous they can kill a human being with just one bite. Most snakes lay eggs, but there are many which give birth to their young. In the dry, rocky deserts of America lives a rather evil-looking snake with a very bad reputation. Its frightening rattle can be heard as far as 30 meters away, and it can strike with lightning speed. So, the meaning is there are 2,300 snakes around the world, and they are a range of about 15 centimeters long up to 11 meters. Some snakes are quite harmless, but there are some snakes, they are very much poisonous in their nature, and they can kill a human being in just a single bite. Mostly snakes lay eggs, but there are some snakes which give birth to their young ones. In the dry rocky desert of America lives a rather evil looking snake with a very bad reputation. There lives a snake in America with a very bad reputation. Its frightening rattle can be heard. Its frightening rattle can be heard as far as 30 meters away. आप उसको 30 meters दूर से सुन सकते हो, and it can strike with lightning speed because the speed of light is the fastest. So you can strike with the lightning speed. Third paragraph. But the rattlesnake or rattler, as it is sometimes called, prefers to avoid people if it possibly can. But the rattlesnake or rattler, as it is sometimes called, prefers to avoid people if it possibly can. It holds its tail upright and rattles the end whenever it is disturbed, in the hope that the intruder will go away. However, if its warnings are ignored and it feels threatened, it will coil ready to bite. But the rattler itself cannot hear the noise of its own tail makes. Like most snakes, it hears things through vibrations in the ground. If a person walks nearby, the snake can feel the movement. But if the same person were to shout, it would not hear a thing. Rattlesnakes are very common and widespread animals living right across the American continent from Canada to Argentina. They feed on a variety of prey including mice, voles, rats, chipmunks and many other. So this is the information about the rattlesnake or rattler. It sometimes prefers to avoid people if it possibly can. क्या करता है वो? It holds its tail upright and rattles the end whenever it is disturbed. In the hope he is doing the thing that the intruder will go away. But if its warnings are ignored by the people and it feels that it is threatened, then it is ready to bite. But the rattler cannot hear the noise of its own tail makes. वो अपनी ही tail की आवाज नहीं सुन पाता है. And like most snakes, it hears things through vibrations, and like other snakes that they hears through vibrations in the ground. If a person walks nearby, then it can feel the movement. But if the same person is shouting, it would neither hear a thing. Rattlesnakes are very common and widespread animals living right across to American continent from Canada to Argentina. They feed on a variety of prey, including what type of prey? Including mice, voles. Voles means a small plant-eating rodent. Rats. Chipmunks means small ground squirrels having light and dark strips, and many other small animals. Rattlesnakes kill their prey with venom. Venom means poison. Okay. Like other snakes, they swallow the unfortunate animals whole. Okay. Like other snakes, like all snakes, they swallow the unfortunate animals whole. Few snakes have to eat more than once a week, and some, such as the larger pythons like, can survive for a year or more without eating. What is mean? Rattlesnakes kill their prey with the venom. Some snakes, like all snakes, they swallow the unfortunate animals whole. Few snakes have to eat more than once in a week, but like a larger pythons, they can survive for a year or more without eating. Fourth paragraph. Now mongooses. Mongooses like to hunt together, but they always keep a lookout for dangerous predators nearby, poking their noses into holes, overturning rocks with their paws and scratching the ground with their sharp claws. Banded mongooses are very amusing animals to watch, a common sight in many parts of Africa. They travel in groups of about 20 to forage for beetles, millipedes and other small creatures. Mongooses like to hunt together, but they always keep a lookout. They always be alert for the dangerous predators. Predators, an animal naturally preying on others. An animal naturally preying on others. Poking their noses, they always poking their noses into holes, overturning rocks with their paws and scratching the ground with their sharp claws. Banded mongooses are very amusing animals. They are very entertaining to watch. A common sight in many parts of Africa. They travel in groups. You can see that they travel in groups of about 20 to forage. Forage means search for food. 20 to forage for beetles, millipedes and other small creatures. Next paragraph, they like to hunt together, keeping in touch whenever they go out of sight behind rocks or bushes by twittering and calling. Always on the lookout for danger, hawks, eagles and large snakes, they warn one another with a special alarm call if they spot anything suspicious. They like to hunt together, but they always keep in touch whenever they go out. जब भी वो बाहर जाते हैं, ऑफ साइट बिहाइंड रॉक्स और बुशेस बाय ट्विटरिंग एंड कॉलिंग. ऑलवेज ऑन द लुक आउट फॉर डेंजर. इफ देयर इज समथिंग dangerous, hawks, eagles and large snakes, they warn each other with a special alarm or call if they spot anything suspicious. अगर उन्हें लगता है कि कुछ ऐसा डेंजर है, then they warn each other with a special alarm in their own language. Sixth is, mongooses are famous for being able to kill snakes without getting hurt themselves. Their reactions are so fast that they can dodge each time the snake strikes. They continually make a nuisance of themselves until after a while, when the snakes get tired, they quickly dive in for the kill. Mongooses are famous for being able to kill snakes. They are famous that they are able to kill snakes without getting hurt themselves. Their reactions are so fast that they can dodge each time. Dodge means move quickly to avoid its enemy. Each time the snake strikes, they continually make a nuisance of themselves. After a while, when the snakes get tired, they quickly dive in for the kill. जल्दी से उन्हें पकड़ लेते हैं और मार देते हैं. And all the female mongooses have their kitten at about the same time. They are raised by the whole group in a den made inside an old termite mound or hollow log. When most of the adults are out looking for food, one or two males stay behind to stand guard until the others return for the night. All the female mongooses have their kitten at about the same time. They are raised by the whole group in a den made inside where it is made and inside an old termite mound or a hollow log. When most of the adults are going for food, only one or two males stay behind to stand guard until the others return for the night. 8th paragraph, another animal which lives in the desert is the camel, and camels were the first domesticated by people many thousands of years ago. In the wild, camels usually live in small groups of up to 30 animals. Camels have long shaggy winter coats to keep warm and shorter tidier coats in the summer to keep cool. A thirsty camel can drink as much as 30 gallons of water in just 10 minutes, that is about 500 full glasses in just 10 minutes. Normally, however, it gets all the moisture it needs from desert plants and can survive for up to 10 months without drinking any water at all. Next is, there are two different kinds of camel. One known as the dromedary has only single hump, and the other is called a Bactrian camel, has two humps. The humps help the animal to survive in the desert by acting as the storage containers. Their humps are acting as the storage containers, but they don't store water, as many people wrongly believe they are full of fat. Some people believe wrongly that they are full of fat. This fat nourishes the camels When food is scarce, then there is a scarcity of food, this fat nourishes the camel, and if they have nothing to eat or several days, their humps shrink. वो shrink हो जाते हैं as the fat is used up when the scarcity of food is there. There are many other ways in which camels are adapted to desert life. Their mouths are so tough that even the sharp thorn cannot pierce through their mouth. So these are the different types of conditions in which the desert animals adapt themselves, how they survive themselves in the toughest conditions of the desert. Okay students, thank you.